Radesh, you made me blush a lot being called an industry veteran. I thought I'm still young. Um, my job is really very easy. Firstly, I would like to apologize on behalf of the Deputy President. He would have preferred to have been here in person, but unfortunately, as you know, Sun City is about 2 hours away from Joburg. So it would have been very hard, 4 hours of the Deputy President's time, given the challenges that we have in our country. So he needs to get his hands dirty, helping us with load shedding and other stuff. My role really is very easy, is to introduce the Deputy President. And I think he's speaking at this conference at a very interesting time, especially for the global economy. As you know, that the pre-COVID world versus the post-COVID world is completely different. For the first time, the world is experiencing high levels of inflation, which is something that we have always lived with here in Africa. In terms of global growth, our continent offers a great opportunities in terms of going forward. So the Deputy President will be reflecting in that regard. And I would also want to remind you that the Deputy President addressed this conference a number of times. And when he moved into the presidency office, I told him that, Mr. President, that this is your partners. Deputy President, in the room here, we've got about 850 delegates coming all over from South Africa and the rest of the continent, representing an estimated more than more than 8 trillion in the room. So if you are really looking for partners, Deputy President, I would really urge you to reflect on various opportunities that this economy can offer and how the decision makers in pension funds that are sitting with us here would be able to partner with the government to assist with the acceleration of growth of our economy going forward. You have served in various capacities previously in the province and now in the highest office in the country as the Deputy President. And we would really want to welcome you and receive your message. And we appreciate for the effort that you have put to make sure that you are with us this morning. It shows that you take pension funds and asset managers and so on as a very important constituency that will assist our economy to grow going forward. With those few words, Mr. Deputy President, I welcome you and we are ready to receive your message. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oliphant. I hope you can hear me from Sun City. Let me start by greeting Radesh Maharaj, who's chairman of Batseta, all the delegates who are present today at the 2023 Batseta Winter Conference, all the CEOs, captains of industry present at Sun City, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are grateful from the Presidency to have this opportunity to participate in this prestigious gathering under the auspices of the Batseta Winter Conference. As you said, Mr. Oliphant, I would have liked to join you physically there at Sun City, but as you may be aware that especially on Mondays, the officials have a lot of other engagements that we deal with. Is one of the days where we are able to get together. I, however, told my office that even though I have a meeting starting at 10 this morning, I would not miss the opportunity to continue to engage with yourselves because I consider Batseta as a critical stakeholder of government and indeed an institution that plays a critical role in the economy, as I said before in our engagements. The topic given to me, Chairperson, is to focus on the South African blueprint for inclusive and sustainable socio-economic growth. Chairperson, we accepted the invitation to come and engage you because in our understanding, government alone will not resolve the challenges of our economy. We have also joined you because we must continue to engage on the transformation agenda, as well as ensuring the continued use of pension funds to invest in the growth and development of our economy. In the discussion over the next few days for the Winter Conference, I have observed with keen interest the topics and areas of focus, which amongst others include a discussion on climate change, energy and just transition, and also on the smart use of investment funds. These topics demonstrate your commitment to finding lasting solutions in the economy. Hence, we believe that by working with you, we can build an inclusive and sustainable economy that grows and at much higher level that it is at the moment. Chairman, as you are aware that over the past 29 years, as the African National Congress-led government, we have adopted policies that have contributed to the transformation of the economy. The policy interventions have resulted in the transformation of key sectors of the economy and indeed society. We are, however, concerned that the economy is not growing at the rate that results in many being absorbed by the economy. For example, Stats SA, according to Stats SA, is that the economy, after contracting by a revised 1.1% in the fourth quarter of 2022, real gross domestic product, GDP, edged higher in the first quarter of 2023, that is January to March, expanding by an estimated 0.4%. The areas that contributed, it's manufacturing and finance, industries, they were the major drivers of growth on the supply side of the economy. The demand side was lifted by exports, with smaller positive contributions for households, government, and investment spending. Chairperson, in the past, especially before COVID, we have had times when economic growth averaged about 3.8% for more than a decade, when we experienced the fastest growth of the black middle class. And when we were able also to roll out massive social security programs to cushion the poor from poverty. There are certain things that we are doing right, and this is albeit the global economic challenges. We must therefore focus on the things that we are doing right and be more innovative if we are to grow a sustainable and inclusive economy. Our goal is to make a permanent and decisive break with an economic trajectory that is characterized by low and declining growth, the exclusion of women, young people, and people with disabilities from the mainstream of the economy. Falling per capita incomes, low investments, as well as high and deeply entrenched levels of inequality, poverty, and unemployment. At the center of our economic reconstruction and recovery efforts is the mobilization of public and the private sector around infrastructure-led recovery. Chairperson, we are envisioning an aggressive expansion of social and economic infrastructure that meets the needs of the people of South Africa. This includes new investments in energy, mining, water and sanitation, roads and bridges, human settlements, health and education, digital infrastructure, and public transport. Maintenance of existing infrastructure is also an important part of our infrastructure rollout program. Our choice of infrastructure investments as a key driver of reconstruction and recovery is also informed by the reality that across government, we already have budgets approved for infrastructure. Our challenge, Chairperson, remains that of execution. Often when you look at challenges that government face, you would find out it's really about execution, implementation, where we sometimes take too long to implement our plans. This is where, of course, we require cooperation with the private sector, and we think that is critical. Of course, this does not preclude the business sector from identified priority projects that will have a major contribution to the achievement of our shared goals. Chairperson, equally through the presidential employment stimulus programs, many young people are being absorbed into mass employment opportunities in education, arts and culture, global business services, early childhood development, as well as small-scale and subsistence farming. Work is also continuing to strengthen the security of the energy supply. This includes, amongst others, turning around ESCOM, including its unbundling, embedded electricity generation up to 100 megawatts, and also the implementation of a just transition towards a low-carbon economy. Chairpersons, this development poses serious policy questions about the future of electricity supply in our country. For instance, embedded generation suppliers will be allowed to sell to third parties. This will effectively introduce competition in the sector. Our immediate task must be to achieve the following objectives. Firstly, job creation and the reduction in unemployment, public employment programs to complement our job creation efforts, skills development to ensure that when the economy recovers, we do not import skills, and also the provision of income support for the most vulnerable in our society. As part of our economic reconstruction and recovery plan that was introduced by the President, we are implementing a set of structural reforms housed under what we call Operation Vulindlela, which is a joint program between National Treasury and the Presidency. In addition to Vulindlela, or the Vulindlela work, we need to look at new areas of ensuring the ease and reducing the cost of doing business in South Africa. The journey of structural reforms must touch every level of government. For instance, are rezoning regulations conducive to a friendly investments environment? Questions that is being asked. However, these reforms are not only about facilitating the ease of doing business. They are also about transforming how the state itself does business. The state must be an enabler. It must enable South Africans to go about their daily lives. The state must continue to build a better life for all our people. Chairperson, we collect taxes from South African citizens to make their lives better. we also have a duty to allocate them efficiently and spend them effectively. This task we are prepared and are going to undertake. In conclusion, Chairperson, we are looking forward to the outcomes of this winter conference, and we will continue to incorporate them into our plans as we seek to build a growing, inclusive economy. I do hope, Chairperson, that you will interact with some of our ministers. I don't know how your program will unfold, but for instance, I know that the issue of energy is quite critical, electricity, and it may be good to get the Minister of Electricity to engage with yourselves. You know him very well, Kosienzu, who was also responsible for our infrastructure fund. I think that will enrich our discussions going forward around how we can continue to advance the transformation of the South African economy, particularly to create the much needed employment in our country. Thank you very much, Chairperson, and I would like to wish you all the best with the conference. And I'm sorry I was not able to join you at Sun City this morning, but you know, Batseta remains my friends, and we will continue to engage. Thank you very much. All the best.